Good evening, ladies. Welcome to the YL UpNet. This is Catherine, AAC4YL Net Control for this evening's net. We meet every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Echolink ALARA Conference node. Be sure to invite all YLs you know to join us. We ask that only YLs or licensed female amateur radio operators check in and participate. The purpose of this net is to encourage you to become and stay active with amateur radio, help each other improve our operating knowledge and skills, and have fun. During the net, be sure to join us in the NFARL Do Drop In chat room by opening any web browser and going to nfarl.dodropin.org. Just put your name -- call sign in the box and then click Login. YLs who would like to check in, give us your call sign, name, and current location. And don't forget that there is a 3 to 4 second delay when transmitting through Echolink. This is Catherine, AC4YL. We will now begin taking check-ins. Please call now.
KC9ZHV, Lauren, in Albany, Illinois.
This is KK4USM, Tammy in Alpharetta.
This is Wisconsin.
KC8PKY, Linda, Knox, Indiana.
Okay, we'll go ahead and start with those check-ins. So far we have Lauren, KC9ZHV, joining us from Illinois. Tammy, KK4USM, checking in over RF in a 4GA repeater in Alpharetta, Georgia. And KC9YL, joining us from Wisconsin. And Linda, KC8PKY, checking in from Indiana. Let's go ahead and continue with check-ins. Please call now.
This is W1AYL, Ann in New Hampshire.
KA7SKY, Sky in Gardner, Washington.
W5MQC, Michelle, Oklahoma.
AE7MB, Margaret, Battleground, Washington.
This is KA1YL, Connie in Bridgewater, Massachusetts.
KB4RM, Rosemary in Texas.
KW1YL, Brenda, New Haven, Connecticut.
NE0DB, Rita, Colorado.
Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Hotel Uniform, Carroll, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada.
KN4MXR, Dharma, Kathleen, Georgia.
Okay, fantastic. Got a great group going on here. Let's see. See where we left off here on check-ins. We have Ann, W1AYL, joining us from New Hampshire. Sky, K7SKY, checking in from Washington. Michelle, W5MQC, joining us from Oklahoma. Margaret, AE7MB, joining us from Washington. Connie, KA1YL, checking in from Massachusetts. Rosemary, KB4RM, joining us from Texas. Brenda, KW1YL, joining us from Connecticut. Rita, and Carol, VA3WHU, joining us from Ontario, Canada, and Dharma, MXR, joining us from Georgia as well. Awesome group tonight, ladies. It's great to have all of you here with us. First of all, would like to congratulate Dharma on passing her technician. Looks like you just went in the database probably in the last 3 days, so this week. Congratulations on getting your license, and I'm sure you are excited and ready to rock and roll, and we are really glad to have you here on the net with a great group of gals that will look at questions that you have and get you rocking on the right foot there. So congratulations, and again, hopefully a lot of you gals are on a computer, or if you're on a phone, I know you can switch to the chat tab. At least you can on an Android. I'm sure you can most likely on a iPhone as well. But there's a lot of chats that happen in the Echolink chat, and also the Do Drop In chat room on some evenings is quite active as well. And I apologize if I'm not as active in those while on the net, because it is rather challenging to run a net and monitor 2 chats and try to keep up with everything. So Melanie is also here with us, AG4YL. So welcome, Melanie, and we've got a great group here. Okay, with that, let's go ahead. first of all, I'd like to kick off a little bit of the net. I haven't gotten a chance to post this in the groups.io group yet, but was able to put it on the Wild OpNet Facebook group. But this past weekend, I had never attended a VE session and participated in that, in spite of the fact of signing up to be a volunteer examiner, and Melanie hadn't either. So she happened to be off of work, and I was off of work, so we were able to do our first VE session together with the North Fulton group, and that was a lot of fun. In fact, I think we had 6 people testing, and they were all testing for their technician, and we had, I think 8 to 10 VEs there, so nice big group of volunteers there to help make sure there were enough folks for everybody to be able to take their test, and so it was really good. In fact, it was a lot of fun doing it. For the first one, I'm looking forward to going and doing another one. But it was also fun. We had a YL that tested and passed. So she took her technician and passed her exam, and so when she was finished and stepped out, I was able to step out and chat with her for a little bit, and so that was a lot of fun. Told her about the net, so we might see her on the net hopefully soon. Gave her all the information on Echolink and this net, and encouraged her to attend field day with the club. So that's one of the joys of being a volunteer examiner. If you are a VE but you haven't attended a test session yet, I encourage you to do it as soon as you can. It is a lot of fun, and you learn some stuff and get to meet some cool folks, so that's really exciting. So that's probably the exciting thing for me over the past week in the ham radio arena, so to speak. Of course, Field Day is coming up next weekend here in North America and in Canada and the U.S., so we're looking forward to Field Day. Still trying to firm up some plans, not entirely sure what. It depends on some work schedules and the like, so trying to pin down exactly what the game plan is for Field Day. But for those of you that weren't on last week, we went into a little more detail about Field Day, what it is and what the purpose of Field Day is. So I encourage you, if you missed last week's net, I believe it is up on YouTube, and you can listen to it there, as well as other past nets that you may have missed. And we want to take a moment to thank Lauren, KC9ZHV, because it is a lot of work to get that together, and Lauren takes the time to get it streamed and cleaned up and posted up there, so that's really, really great. And we really appreciate all her hard work in that. If you have feedback for that, please let Lauren know, especially good feedback. Tell her you appreciate it if it's of value to you. Make sure you share that with her, and the best way you could do that is by letting her know, and then letting other YLs that you meet know about the YouTube channel. Get them to subscribe so that they can just get an email when a new video, for lack of a better term, is posted. A new net recording, we'll put it that way, is posted up there, because it's more about the content and information we cover in addition to the chat, so they can follow along and kind of at least almost feel like they're right there and participating in the net. And again, just let Lauren know if you appreciate that. Send her a note every so often and say thank you, and encourage other YLs to listen in. It's a great introduction, especially for newly licensed hams. If you participate in a VE session, you can invite the YLs to get on the net. So, all right, with that, let's open up the group and see what you gals have had going on over the last week, and if you have anything that you want to share with the group here. So please call now if you do, and we'll pass the mic over to you. AC4YL.
Well, this is Rita, NA0DB in Colorado. Since no one volunteered to talk, I'll start out. I made a great contact this week with a YL on the YL International Single Sideband. She's in Texas, Fort Worth, Texas. She is in our Facebook group, and very lovely card I got from her. So mainly I just work on 20 meters and looking forward to the convention coming up, in only 7 weeks. So back to the net, NE0DB.
All right, that's awesome, Rita. It's always fun to make new contacts on the air, especially with other YLs. That makes it a lot of fun and keeps us going in the hobby, and that's great. Congratulations on that. All right. Kimberly has joined us, VK2KMI, out of Australia. So good, I guess it's morning, maybe almost noontime over there. On Friday. So Kimberly's got the jump start on Friday for us. So very good. Welcome to the net this evening. We're glad to have you here with us. We're just catching up and seeing what's new and what's been going on. So who else would like to tell us what you've been up to over the last week, or what you're looking forward to in the next week?
KWNYL, Brenda.
Well, good evening, Brenda. Please go ahead.
Well, this is KW1YL, and I have so many things that happened in this past week. First of all, we went to a music festival, my husband and myself, and we always communicate on the radio when we go because we take 2 cars. We take a van, which we set up with a canopy and everything, and then we have the car to get around. So we were on Simplex on our UHF, talking back and forth on the way, over an hour to the festival, so that's one thing. And then we're making progress on our project at the Makerspace, where I've been mentioning before. We are working on an experimental web SDR project, and we explain it to people every Tuesday night at open house. We are at our station, everybody else is at theirs, and we explain what we're doing with the web SDR. And we will be explaining it again Saturday when there's a special festival for New Haven, and there's a walking tour coming through, so I guess we'll get more diverse people that we can explain what we're doing. So that's going on. And then we also are officers at the radio group, I should say, at the Veterans Hospital in West Haven. And so we're working on something there. Today we brought in a antenna space panel and installed that. And so that's going on. And then today also we got 2 24-foot poles delivered to for the UHF antenna for our roof that we're planning. Yes, we are going to do HF eventually, but not yet. Sorry, I will report that one as soon as it happens. And the 5th thing, I'll stop after one more thing, is that I made hotel reservations for Boxborough for September. So any of you that are going to the Boxborough event in September, I will be there with my OM, Rich, and probably with some people from the Yale Radio Club also. But I do want to meet every single YL that's there. So that's me. That's my report. Brenda, KW1YL, back to net control.
Well, that's fantastic, Brenda. You got all kinds of things going on, and so Boxborough, yeah, that's another one of those places. I'll have to make it a point to head up to one of these years and check it out. So looks like Ann WB1ARU has joined us, and she'll be at Boxborough, so you gals will get a chance to catch up. Donna has also joined us, WB9TFF out of Wisconsin. So good evening, Donna. Welcome to the group. All right. Very good, Brenda. Well, keep up all that good hard work, and be sure and let us know when you get that HF antenna up and get that going. So you just stay busy in VHF and UHF for now and move right along into HF. That'll be a lot of fun. You'll have to let us know when you get on, and maybe we can try and work you on the air. All right, who else has some information or updates or news or announcements or anything that you want to share with the group this evening? Please call now, AC4YL.
WB1ARU.
Well, good evening, Ann. Please, go ahead.
I don't have a whole lot of voice tonight. I don't know whether it's the pollen, which has been ferocious, or if I've got a cold or both. But anyway, kind of scratchy in the voice here. I want to let New England YLs know that picnic is being planned for YLs only out in Western Mass on July 21st. I will not be able to attend because that's the weekend we're leaving for our road trip to Oklahoma City. However, it's being organized by, I'm going to forget her call now, KB1CQD. Is that right? Something like, I will check on that. And it's going to be up on Route 2, which is a very scenic road, up in northwestern Massachusetts, just south of the Vermont border and just east of the New York border. I will get all the details in front of me and put it into print here on the screen and in the chat room. And back to net, WB1ARU.
All right, very cool, Ann. Well, we'll keep our eye out for that information. And I do vaguely remember seeing that briefly on Facebook. I just can't remember where. So, yeah, if you can put the information up, that would be awesome. Sounds like a lot of fun, and who knows, maybe you gals or the gals there can set up a nice little portable station and maybe do some operating from there. That would be really cool. Awesome. Who else has something for the group this evening?
W5MQC. 4MXR, Dharma. Hi ladies, this is my first time officially joining you as a ham myself, and I'm enjoying the net so far. I took my test, like Catherine said, this past Saturday and passed, and I've had the full support of my husband, so that's been really exciting. He's teaching me a lot on just the basics of what to say when on the air, and you know, the different equipment that I can use. He's being gracious and letting me use his base station, so I'm learning that a little bit, and he's taught me about his antenna as well. And I am going to be attending my first field day this next weekend, so that will be exciting. And hopefully I'll get to use my handheld radio a little bit. I have a ID 51A. So anyways, I hope to get to know all of you more as time goes on, and I'm just enjoying my time being a ham. Back to the net. Thank you.
Well, that is fantastic, Dharma. We're really glad to have you here with us on the net. And you got your Echo Link set perfectly. Your audio is great. And that's well done in getting that up and going and getting on the air here with us. I know some of us have a little bit harder time than others getting going and getting past the mic fright. And so we're glad to have you here, and we look forward to having you here on the net on Thursday evenings whenever you can make it as well. So congratulations again, and great to have you here with us. Michelle, W5MQC, had something too. Let's pass the mic on over to her.
Good evening, ladies. W5MQC, Michelle. HamCom was last weekend, and wow, what an awesome ham fest it was. I think it will go down as one of my most successful ham fests. I got 8 ladies signed up for the YLRL. They had put my booth right across from registration, so I got to greet every single person that came in. My class, the YL forum went phenomenal. I had them schedule it at the same time as the worldwide YL DMR net, so everybody on the DMR net got to introduce themselves to all the ladies in the forum, and then we had all the ladies in the forum check in. And on that net, Devorah 4X4NW is net control in Israel. So everybody checked in with Devorah and Pat from Manitoba, Candy, K2OK, I'm messing up her call sign. I think Nisi was on. It was just a blast. We had a great time. Everybody learned a lot, and we had a little bit of fun. Back to net control, this is W5MQC.
Well, that's great, Michelle. Sounds like you had a great time and got a lot accomplished. It's great to be able to bring some interaction in on the forum. I know when Melanie and I did some forums one of our best forums was in Huntsville. I think it was last year when we did an Echolink forum, and we had some OMs in the group as well with the YLs, and we had a great time demonstrating Echolink using the phone and the computer there, as we gave them some information on settings and setting it up, and of course talked about. But you know, any interaction with that and getting the group involved and active is always really adds that nice touch to any forum. So thanks, Michelle, for coming in, and glad you had a great HamCom and were able to make it there. And I think the ALARA convention is coming up shortly as well, to be here before we know it. And of course, Field Day in 2 weekends. That's always a blast. So. All right, let's open it back up to the group. Who else has something that you want to come in and share with us here? Please call now, AC4YL.
Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Hotel Uniform. We had a surprise in the mail today, my husband and I, Brian Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Golf November, and myself. We entered a contest from Fort Myers Amateur Radio Club back in February, and we received the QSL card and Buckingham Gunnery Army Airfield. Congratulations and greetings to Amateur Radio Station from W4LX. I will post the pictures of this on Facebook, on the YL.net Facebook page. And what a thrill to receive that in the mail today. We thought they'd forgotten about us, but definitely not. A thrill to receive this in the mail today. Over.
All right, that's wonderful, Carol. Congratulations. It's always fun to get new QSL cards when you work, you know, special event stations and the like, and they have their own unique QSL cards they put together. That's a lot of fun. You know, I like some of my QSL cards that I got are really neat. You know, I got one from I worked a YL on Antigua and Barbuda when the group was over there operating there in the Caribbean. That was a lot of fun. Got that card, which is pretty cool, and it's fun to get QSL cards in the mail. I think there's a lot to be said for the paper still there. I mean, even from, you know, the different postage and the like. That's a lot of fun. So congrats on that. We'll look for the picture of that, Carol, when you get it posted. Thanks so much for sharing with the group. We appreciate it. Who else has something you want to bring up tonight? Please call now, AC4YL.
Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Hotel Uniform. Carol back again. I've been off on vacation this week, and the weather has been absolutely glorious. We took a trip up to Manitoulin Island, mid-northern Ontario, as we speak. And we had a lovely time up there. We had some days where we traveled over. I took my 2-meter radio with me, tried to see if there was any repeaters in the area, but unfortunately unable to contact anybody. And we had a wonderful time there. We went over on the Chi-Chi-Mun, the ferry from Tobermory, Ontario to South Baymouth, or South Baymouth, however you want to say it, in Ontario as well. And the ferry was really nice. It was a 2-hour ferry ride over to the island. And if you ever want to travel, any of you YLs in the USA, if you ever plan a trip to Canada, it's the largest freshwater island in the world, Manitoulin Island. So if any of you YLs want to take a trip to Canada at any time, I sincerely recommend. What they do up there in the winter, I don't know, because I'm sure it's pretty bleak. A lot of places, like we went to a lot of the little towns and villages in the area, and we stopped at some of the beach areas in there, Gore Bay and some different areas there. We had a lovely time. We had some white fish, some fresh fish.
It's the only unceded Indian territory in Canada.
There we go. It's the only unceded Indian territory in Canada. Thank you to Brian BA3 Bravo.
Never signed a peace treaty with Canada.
There we go. They've never signed a peace treaty with Canada. So that was my week, and was absolutely brilliant. And of course, this weekend we have Treasures in the Trunk. If you go on to the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club website, you'll see that that's posted, and that's this Saturday, the 16th of June. So once again, if any YLs want to take a trip north into Canada, into Ontario, we'd be happy to see you there. Over.
All right, Carol. Well, awesome. Glad you guys had a nice vacation time. It's always great when the weather cooperates, isn't it? And that's fantastic. So sounds like y'all had a good time. And yeah, you know, definitely have to make a trip up there sometime and visit and see you guys. And I personally have never been up into Canada, but hope to make it up there and visit and explore for sure. So thanks, Carol, for coming in. Sounds like y'all had a great vacation. I'm really happy for you guys, and we're glad to have you here with us as always. All right. Anybody else have something for the group this evening? Please call now, AC4YL.
Kilo 4, Uniform Sierra Mike, Tammy. We have been experimenting with the Shark Open spot at our house and D-Star radio. I've noticed there aren't a whole lot of women on the D-Star, but we're just getting into that right now.
All right. Well, that's great, Tammy. And yeah, I haven't done anything with D-Star personally. I'm curious if anybody else in the group here has gotten into D-Star at all. That's pretty cool. So if you have, maybe you can put something in the comments here on Echolink. But that's great, Tammy. It's always fun to explore new avenues of the hobby for sure. And glad that's working out for you, and you're exploring that. That is great. We have Ann, who's joined us, KC1CRS, has joined us from Massachusetts, so good evening to you, Ann. And Carrie has just joined us, KN4JAK, from Georgia. Good evening, Carrie. We're glad to have you with us as well. So we've got some gals trickling in here. We're just catching up with each other and sharing everything, whatever with the group here, amateur radio related or activities or whatnot, anything that you want to bring to the table this evening and share with the group. So who else has something for the group? Please call now, AC4YL. Okay, well, while you gals are thinking of some things and some of you are settling in here this evening, some upcoming events this weekend, some on-air activity. For those of you that are working toward your worked all state, West Virginia has their QSO party this weekend on Saturday. So if you need West Virginia in your log, Saturday is going to be a good day to work for it and get on the air and work them. ARRL Kids Day is also this Saturday. They'll be exchanging their name, age, location, and favorite color. Now the modes for that is single sideband on 80, 40, 20, 17, 15, 12, 10, and 2 meter repeaters. So listen out for the kids on the air this weekend and work them if you can, and encourage them in their excitement of amateur radio. That is a great event. In fact, I am going to see if I can copy and paste the link in here. There we go. Got it in the Echolink chat, and let me see if I can get it over and do drop in. There we go. Alright, so check out Kids Day, and maybe you can help encourage some of the younger folks on the air and keep them excited about amateur radio. Also this weekend is, for those of you that want to practice some CW, there's the All Asian DX Contest CW going on this weekend. So you got a good chance, if the bands are nice, to work some folks out in the Asian stations. those bands are 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10. So all your main bands except Wart. Let's see, their exchange is RST and 2-digit age. So non-Asian stations, you want to work Asian prefixes once per band. That is your multiplier. So basically work as many Asian prefixes as you can. That is coming up this weekend, CW only, however. Okay, also for those of you that are cranking out 6 meters, getting involved in 6-meter activity, there's the SMIRK contest. SMIRK, SMIRK contest going on this weekend. 6 meters only, CW and phone modes. And I will post the info for that. Let me see if I can copy and paste that link here real quick. Oops. I try not to open the wrong program here. We'll be in good shape. So that's great. 6 meters and 10 meters have had some open activity going on, some band openings quite a bit of late. So might be a great opportunity to work a few contacts on 6 meters. So there'll be several folks on for that as well. And there's the Stu Perry Top Band Challenge also going on this weekend, CW mode, 160 meters only. So for any of you that may have 160 meter capability, you can certainly play along on CW there this weekend as well. So lots of good on-air activities going on this weekend. So get out there, have some fun. Of course, there's the Feldhell Sprint on the 16th. If you have questions or need some help with that, I'm sure Nisi, K-A-1-U-L-N, would love to help you with that. Let me see. There was something else here. Maybe not. You can check out the contest going on, Ham Radio Contest. You can Google Ham Radio Contest Calendar, or you can go to contestcalendar.com for the WA7BNM contest calendar, sponsored or powered by ICOM. So you can check out that. You can also, of course, check ARRL's website on the Contest Corral. We'll give you information on contests there also. All right, so what else is going on? Who else has something for the group this evening? Please call now, AC4YL.
KC1 CRS.
Please, go ahead, Ann.
Hi, everybody. This is Ann. I just wanted to mention that I am still stalking everybody I can find from Nebraska CW, that does Logbook of the World. It's my last state on Civil Play. And otherwise, I'm busy with supporting a couple of new YLs and getting on the air and doing some really fun stuff. KC1CRS, back to next.
All right, very good. Thanks, Ann. And wish you the best of that. Their QSO party, state QSO parties already come and gone, but maybe you can catch somebody in one of these CW contests. Definitely keep your eye out for that. But be sure and let us know when you land that contact, because that's really, really exciting. Great. Well, good to hear from you, Ann. Who else? Anybody else have something for the group?
Hey, G4YL.
Please go ahead, Melanie.
Okay, well, I'm on a little different headset here, so hopefully I'm coming through okay and it's decent. I have a feeling my problem actually is with my computer. I have a laptop that's slowly been dying. It was the trackpad, and then it was the keyboard, and then it was the monitor, and now I think it's the sound card. So I have a backup running on this thing all the time, right? Anyway, for getting contacts, don't forget Field Day is next weekend, and every state and, or I should say every ARRL and RAC section in the United States and Canada will be represented, and that might be a good time to get that contact you've been looking for, Ann, on CW, so you may want to monitor that. I don't know what your plans are going to be, but you can always hop over with your own call and do a QSO if you're going to be with your club or whatever, and then go back to doing what you were doing for your club or organization. The new technician license is out. So if any of you know of some folks that have been studying to take their tech, they need to go, especially if they were using the old guide. July 1st is when the new technician license question pool will be in effect. Now, I know a lot of people that have used old books and done just fine on the new pool. The information covered in a really good book that covers all the material it should do just fine. People should still be able to do just fine with their technician exam, but just a reminder, let everybody but let me pause for reset here. Okay, but just wanted to bring that up. So there is a new technician question pool that's going to be starting on the 1st of July. What else? If you or anybody you know is into digital amateur radio TV, the digital amateur radio transmitter on the ISS is done. It's unrepairable. So if you are an ARIS, ARISS supporter, or if you know some people that like this sort of thing, now's the time to help out that group. It's going to take some money to get that transmitter back to work. Back to Earth and working again. They have to repair it here on Earth, so it has to be sent back, repaired, and sent back out again. It's going to take some time and, of course, money. So just a call out there if you guys are into that, into amateur radio on the International Space Station, and into supporting your youth. The schools really use this system a lot to talk to the astronauts there on the space station, and it's a big deal to a lot of the school groups. It's called Ham TV, so they're really into it. So support ARIS and getting that repaired. So especially so our schools can get that excitement of having contact with people in space. I have talked to I talked to a little girl one time whose father was a ham, and he brought her hoping to get her interested because she was a bright young lady, and he came to us at a ham fest one year when Catherine and I were there, talking to a lot of folks and getting YLs of every age involved. Pause for reset. AG4YL here. And he wanted to know how to get his daughter kind of excited about ham radio, and it's like, oh yeah, you talk to people all over the world and stuff, and she was unimpressed. You can do that on the computer and on a cell phone. And I looked at her and I said, did you know that you can talk to astronauts in space on ham radio? Her eyes lit up, got as big as two saucers. She was like, really? I'm like, yes, really. And you can even use satellites up in space to send radio up to, and then they'll beam it back down to somebody else on another spot of the Earth. But she was really excited about being able to talk to astronauts in space. Her eyes lit up. Her dad put in the Ham Study app on his phone and handed it to her, and she was all excited. She was like, "I'm studying now." And I have no doubt that young lady has got her tech by now. But sometimes that's what it takes at that kind of excitement. That's neat. I mean, when I was a kid, I would have loved to have done that. Carol says she got kicked out of the ALARA Conference. Sometimes the bandwidth is just weird, and I was just reading a little bit about that with Echolink today, kind of refreshing myself on some things about Echolink. I try to keep up on the latest and try to keep learning. Yeah, it was cool, Kim, just to see that. Kimberly, I'm sorry, to see that the light in her eyes. You just have to give me a virtual slap when I do that. I apologize. Yes, it was to see her eyes light up like that. It was pretty doggone amazing. She was just like, really? Yep, sure can. She just thought that was the coolest thing ever. When I was a kid, I watched the men, the Apollo 11 astronauts. Followed their whole thing going to the moon and everything, and watched them step onto the moon surface, and I thought that was just everything. I pause for reset. So yes, I would have. I think that would have been really neat had somebody told me that I would, be able to talk to people that are out on the space station in space. Carrie K and 4JK either joins us or rejoins us. And thank you for saying hi, Don. I'm glad that you could join us on the net this evening. It's wonderful to have everybody on here. The nice thing about this net is it doesn't matter if you're new or a veteran. Everybody on here can find something to share. And I know that's the way it was for me. And I got my license to be on this net. Everybody else has heard this story already, but I got licensed so that I could come on this net to find out if I wanted to be a ham. Funny, but it's true. It's absolutely true. Tim Duffy did a couple of really good interviews at Ham University in Dayton a couple of weeks ago, and he's releasing them piece by piece. Tim Duffy, of course, K3LR. He's, or actually it was Contest University. Sorry about that. He is a DX engineering mainstay and a pretty good interviewer. He interviewed a young lady from a big ham family. Her name is Violetta, KM4ATT. And if you just put in Tim Duffy or KM4ATT, you'll find it. Violetta, all of her 5 sisters are hams, and so is her mom and her dad. And she has a really interesting story. She is quite a well-spoken young lady. She is an extra, and she is really her story. Just to hear her talk about her aspirations, her dreams, and her love of ham radio was very interesting. Very well-grounded family. And thank you, Catherine, for putting that up for me. Let me pause and reset. But these folks are really awesome. The whole family is really pretty cool. And then somebody that I wasn't aware of that apparently other techies and people that are into the maker hobby and everything like that knows the name. Been kind of out of the limelight for 4 years, but has recently, within the last year, gotten a ham radio license and is now discovering a whole another world. Jerry Ellsworth, AI6TK, has been popping back on the scene, and as I said, I didn't know who she was, so of course I had to find out. And she is also interviewed by Tim Duffy, I believe, also at Contest University. The background and the table looks the same. But that one, I actually saw it last week. It was just released on the QRZ News, in the last day or two. But Jerry has an interesting story. She's new to the hobby, and but not new to doing really neat stuff. And she has found an outlet. She's quite an interesting lady, and she is having a blast in ham radio. And she's a joy to listen to. Being interviewed by Tim, very very interesting lady, and I look forward to seeing her make some headlines in ham radio, just like Violetta KM for ATT. So check out Jerry Ellsworth, AI 6TK's interview by Tim Duffy, K3LR, and Catherine has put that up for me. Thank you very much. Oh, and Kimberly says, love Jerry, follow her Twitter. See, there you go. That's awesome. Good deal. See, I learned something completely new, which just goes to show, you can really learn new stuff in amateur radio all the time. But her and Amy are going out to Quartz Fest and going to CPAC and going to Hamvention and building stuff and having adventures. Pause for reset. So it seems like they have a lot of fun, and that's what it's all about. And those types of things just they make me smile and make me very happy. For those that are in the into taper or tapper, I think is how they call it, the Digital Communications Conference. There, I put an invitation in for documents on that. And the people that follow Reverse Beacon Networks, they're beta testing a separate spot stream for FT8. So apparently, FT8 is due to its recent popularity is going to possibly benefit from having its own spot stream on the RBN. So that's kind of interesting. We'll look forward to seeing some more, and I'll try to keep up on that. And as things come along, and keep you all posted. Hopefully, I'll be able to follow it. And Alexanderson Day, July 1st. For those that don't know what this is, it's quite a neat event. I read about it. Oh gosh, I guess it's been 2 years ago. But it's interesting. They crank up this really old amateur radio station, SK6SAQ, or at least this is what they've done in the past. But there's a lot about it. It's a VLF transmission. It's 17.2 kilohertz. So that'll be kind of interesting to see what happens on that. And look into that a little bit. I think probably Catherine will put something on there having to do with that. But anyway, I've run my mouth long enough, and that's kind of what I had to say for now. This is HE4YL. Back to net control.
All right, very good, Melanie. Well, thanks so much for all that great info, and I'm glad you brought up those 2 interviews because I was just going to pull those up as well. So thanks so much for bringing those into the discussion this evening. And we got the links for both of those. So, gals, check those out. And Owen's listening. Those are some great interviews to watch. Very enjoyable. Really liked watching both of those. And KC1CRS, good luck. Hope maybe you run into a Nebraska station on CW. All right, very good. Before we continue, does anybody else have comments or anything for the group? We'll give you a chance as well. Please call now, AC4YL.
Whiskey Bravo 9, Tango, Foxtrot here. This is Donna in Wisconsin. Thanks for having me on the net. It's my first evening on this net.
I was in the Dewdrop Internet last night, heard some interesting things. Also, November 9th, he's going to send me information about the Hedy Lamarr net. So that's a November 9th YL net. So I'll check and see if I get the email. I'll let you know. Back to the net. Here's Debbie B9.
This is AG4YL again. It's funny you should mention the Hedy Lamarr Day or Hedy Lamarr celebration. A lot of people don't know her history, and for those that don't, I was just running into that today. I was checking up on an old friend from back in my Echolink World Friendship Net days, and on the World Conference and World Radio Network. There's a gentleman on there that is big into doing amateur radio day and Hedy Lamarr Day and all that. But for those of you that don't know, Hedy Lamarr, besides being a very glamorous actress, was also extremely smart, and she came up with an idea with a musician by hearing him playing the piano. She came up with an idea of switching radio signals so that torpedoes couldn't be tracked and you couldn't tell where they were going because they're radio guided. And that technology, the Navy kind of went meh and didn't think too much about it at the time, and then the war ended and they moved on to bigger and better things. And some of you all may have heard of spread spectrum. It was a big thing when they came out with the cordless telephone that we all thought was so cool a decade or two ago. That was Hedy Lamarr, and a musician, pianist friend of hers. So there you go. You got a little bit of cool history. Thanks for bringing her up. She's a really neat person and extremely smart. More than just a pretty and talented actress. She was quite an inventor and actually holds that patent. So I'll send this back over. I just had to jump in and say that. I'll send this back over to Net Control. This is AG4YL.
All right, very good. Well, thanks so much, Donna and Melanie, for that. Some more cool stuff. It's fun. Learn all kinds of cool stuff on this net. It's great. So thanks so much for that, and great to have you here, Donna. We look forward to having you here on Thursday evenings with us. Another cool thing, we were talking about stuff on the QRZ news page, which is where the interview with Tim Duffy and Jerry and Violetta were posted, but there's also the link for Julian, OH8STN, out in Finland. There's a video posted there, as well as his comment there about the video. For those of you that, I know Melanie's brought him up before, but those of you that are not familiar with him, again, it's Julian, OH8STN, out of Finland. His focus in amateur radio is almost entirely from a utilitarian perspective, so his goal is off-grid and grid-down amateur radio communications. For those of you that are really into MCOM, being able to set up your own station independently, or where you don't have, commercial power or things readily available to that end. He's been working on all-weather solar-powered amateur radio field stations, and he posts a lot of this information and the things that he does. He has a YouTube channel, and one of them that's a recent post of his is 2 days off-grid, which in that video he discusses off-grid man-portable and packable power, talking about the Power Film 120-watt folding solar panel, and measures its performance and ability to power a QRO field station. So a lot of the things he normally does are QRP stations, low power, operating. However, he's experimenting in 100 watts or more portable as well, and how to do that. So I'm going to see if I can get the link for that posted up here. Let me pause for reset. So he talks about the power film, 120 watt folding solar power, and its ability to power a QRO field station. But he also in that video discusses integration of the Raspberry Pi 3B Plus into the field station and addresses some mods to reduce its shortcomings. So for those of you that are interested in Raspberry Pi solar operating, this video seems to have all of that integrated. So encourage you to check it out. If you're interested in off-grid operating, you might also want to subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's got a lot of really, really good videos and good information there. In fact, Melanie and I are looking to put together one of the LifePro battery packs so that when we want to do our portable operations, we can literally set up our battery pack that's very lightweight, a lot better than that car battery we were hauling around for our Impoda activations. Let me tell you, when you could put something into a small what do you call those little military packs, weighs much less. I'd much rather put it in there that can be put in a backpack than hauling a car battery around and move it. So a lot of good information. Melanie and I are excited to put that battery pack together. It's actually, yes, admin pouch, thank you. I had the word on the tip of my tongue and couldn't get it together here. But check it out. Check out his stuff. It's actually very, very interesting, and you might find your interest may grow in putting together a more portable station. And it's not just, well, in case you want to operate off-grid or emergency situation, but rather maybe you just want to have a more simplified setup for operating, say, at a park, and you want to pack light, and you don't want to have to haul a bunch of stuff in your car or in a rental when you're going on trips. So you can learn all kinds of stuff from him. So check it out, and I hope you enjoy some of his information as well. Okay, anybody else have comments or anything that you want to share with the group this evening?
KK4USM. Catherine, if you're looking for some of the ammo cans, you can check Tractor Supply. They get them in at Christmas, and whatever they don't sell, they put on a big markdown after Christmas. They still had some, I noticed when I was at the Tractor Supply last month. They're going to give you brand new ones at the best price.
Awesome. Thanks for the tip, Tammy. Appreciate that. It's always good to find some cool places to buy some ham gear. In fact, hoping to get a Kenwood 480 sat radio soon for mobile operating. So looking forward to getting that and hopefully have that soon. I hope by the end of this year. We'll see how that goes. Maybe Huntsville, which is coming up in a couple months. You never know. May work out. In fact, I'm glad Tammy brought that up because one of the questions I wanted to ask you gals is, where do you like to purchase your ham gear? Do you have certain places that you like to purchase them, either on the web or local to you? Or at HamFest? Where do you like to pick up your gear, whether it be your equipment or adapters or connectors or cable? Where do you like to pick up your amateur radio gear? I know here in Atlanta we have, of course, we have Ham Radio Outlet here, but we also have ACK, which is a great supply store, kind of like the way Radio Shack used to be. They actually have some pretty cool stuff. But we also have a big electronics store called Fry's Electronics here in Georgia, which is a great place to get connectors and adapters for really less money than some other more well-known and ham-focused suppliers. Also, you can pick up some good stuff from Quicksilver and R&L at HamFest. They're at a lot of them. They have some good prices on adapters and connectors should you need them. So just curious where you gals like to buy your equipment and your connectors, whether it be online or at a local store?
KCAPKY.
Please go ahead, Linda.
Well, we've gotten things from from DX Engineering. A lot of the stuff we bought for the tower project came from them. And there may be a new radio coming from there if they can't fix my 897, but I'm fingers crossed they're going to be able to fix it. Sent that in this week to Yaesu. It'll transmit but not receive, so who knows. But I think we've gotten a couple of things from HRO. We used to get things from AES before they went out of business. Our first trip to Las Vegas, we spent more money at AES than we did at the casino, so you know what our priorities were. And with that, I will turn it back.
All right, very good, Linda. And yeah, you know, when you brought up your trip to Las Vegas, I think you guys made a trip out to Gigaparts out there, and made me think of them. They're a great place if you're looking to buy a new rig. They're another great place to pick one up, and I believe in Dayton they have some of the best specials you'll find. I think it was last year you could get a radio for a really good price. They're the same, if not slightly lower than HRO. But where you really win with them is they were selling their highest level warranty, for lack of a better phrase, protection plan, whatever you want to call it, which actually was theirs is really, really good, for like $10. And I think it's regularly around $150 or something like that. So they're a great option when you're looking to buy a new rig. Their prices are very reasonable, right in line, sometimes a little less, and watch for their specials as well. So who else? Where else do you gals get your ham radio equipment?
At AG4YL.
Please go ahead, Melanie.
Well, you know, I've learned, because I am a shopper, I love to look around for stuff and compare things and talk to a lot of people and find out what they like and try different things. And I have to say, for wire, cable, coax, wire to make wire antennas, dipoles, those kind of accessories and all that good stuff. I mean, you can buy dipoles, you can buy things like that at the other places, but there is a company, and they're at most of the major ham fests, at least in the southeast and in Dayton, and they're called Wireman or The Wireman. And they even have a great book, the Wire Book 5, I believe, is the latest one that I got. Press Jones, who was the original, N1UG, I think was his call, the original Wireman, just recently died within the last couple months. But they have very high quality. They really know their stuff. They have great deals on great quality. They'll put together wires for you if they don't have it. And just absolutely a great company with very good products and good prices for what you get, and personalized face-to-face service. They'll remember you, and they're really nice, and I like dealing with them. I like dealing with people like that. So I would highly recommend getting wire, coax, any of that kind of stuff from Wireman. I like the what is the name of the company from Europe? Maybe Catherine can type it in. That has they have all the pulleys, all the oh man, it's on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, they have all the tensioners, line tensioners, all the different size of line, non-stretch for guying. You can guy with this stuff. It's so good. A guy tower, some pause for reset. I know it's going to drive me nuts too. But they're wonderful people. They have really great prices and some of the best rope I guess, for lack of a better way to put it. They have some really thin stuff that's super high strength. They've got all the little hardware and the pulleys and the keepers and the tensioners and all that. They're really wonderful. And I know Catherine's just over there doing a search real quick in Google going, yeah, where do I get my guy ropes? And I'm certain if you just put guy ropes or antenna rope, they'll pop up there and you'll see them. Yeah, exactly. It'll come to us in the middle of the night. You are just so right, Linda. And I think I heard Catherine mention Quicksilver. I love to get my, you can get just about anything from them. Again, really good company, family owned. At most of the ham fests here in the east and southeast, they are. I can't speak for whether or not they're out west or not. I don't know. The farthest west I've gone in a ham fest is Huntsville, so. But they're high quality. I really like them a lot. Catherine mentioned Fry's. Oh my gosh, you can get really good connectors and adapters for your HT and to put on all your SMA and reverse SMA and all the bit. They've got all that stuff there. They're fantastic for that and not expensive, about a third of the price. And if going via RF, breach of the VK rules, Czech Republic, not Finland. Oh, it's Czech Republic. Okay, Maastricht. Thank you, Maastricht or Maastricht. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So there you go. So just a few places that I really like, and I think they're really good, high quality, and some nice places to check out and deal with the people and see what they got. So there you go. That's what I like. So that's it for me, and I'm going to pass this back over to Net Control, see what everybody else has to say. This is a G4L.
Okay, very good, Melanie. Thanks so much. Yeah, I had to do some digging and find the name of that company and try to find out that stuff. But yeah, this is great. Just discussing the various places where you can find some amateur radio equipment, especially when you don't have a shop local to you. This is not specific advertising, folks. This is simply letting everybody know some different places that are out there where you can pick up equipment. So, and where we purchased or where you may have purchased some stuff. So, anyway, let's see. So yeah, Maastricht. It's really neat. They've got a lot of neat items. It's especially helpful when you're trying to find specific equipment or connectors and trying to find where you can pick them up, which isn't always easy for sure. So anyway, let's see. We've got about 10 minutes left here. So does anybody else have any comments on equipment and adapters? And then we will move on to something else if there are no other comments there. All right, cool. Well, with that, we have a few minutes left, and I know several of you gals may be working on your annual friendship certificate that YLRL sponsors. And again, this year's topic is favorite song, which I know can be challenging to pick one, but just pick one and stick with it through the whole year. And for those of you that aren't familiar with this ham radio activity, every year the YLRL comes up with a topic, and you exchange your name, call sign, and your location, and the exchange for whatever the topic is. And again, for this year, it's favorite song. You make that exchange with 15 different YLs, and their answers, their exchange, so for in this case their favorite song, has to be unique. You can't have two YLs in your log with the same favorite song. So thanks, Melanie, for posting the link for that. So do we have anybody here on the net this evening who would like to participate and exchange your favorite song with someone? just give us your call sign, and then we will make a list, and then we'll go down that list. So if you'd like to participate, please call now.
Oh, if somebody would like to work me, I'm open for that. WB1ARU.
All right, thanks, Ann. And Melanie volunteered. If somebody would like to exchange with her, you're more than welcome to do that. She's willing to help you out getting to your 15. And I, too, am willing to exchange if you gals are participating and you don't quite have your 15 yet for the year. So if you don't have your 15 yet and you'd like to exchange, you've got 3 YLs here that are happy to exchange with you and help you get towards your 15. So don't be shy. Just throw your call out, and we'll be happy to help you get to your 15. Okay, very good. Not hearing anyone, so I guess everybody is good to go on that end. But we'd like to thank everybody for being here this evening. It was a great net. Covered a lot of good information here. And we're glad to have you on this net. And if you have topic ideas or suggestions, or if you would like an opportunity to be net control for this net for one evening or more than one, please let myself or Melanie know. Our information is good on qrz.com, so you can pull up our email and contact us and let us know. It's basically our call sign at arrl.net. And we'd love to give you that opportunity to do that, or go through some topic suggestions that you may have. Please don't forget to, if you haven't already signed up, please sign up for the ylopsgroups.io group. And please, if you're already a member there, post some topics, some questions, help answer some that are already there, add to the discussion there. That is a group for all YLs all around the world, regardless of what club or organization you may be a part of. We really encourage you to sign up there if you haven't already. Post there, comment there. It's a great forum and a way to lead to some great conversations over there as well. So check that out. Again, don't forget about the WildOpNet YouTube channel. You can also check that out, listen to past nets, and share that with other women that may be interested in getting their license. They can certainly check out the YouTube channel and listen to nets such as this one. It may encourage them to want to get active in amateur radio or become a part of it. So, all right, very good. So with that, do we have anything else for the net this evening? So if you have something else, please call now, AC4YL.
I will call AG4YL for the exchange for the favorite song.
Awesome! I just saw that pop up there. I wasn't sure if you were working towards your cert, and I didn't remember exchanging with you. But WB1ARU, this is AG4YL, and for the purposes of this award, my favorite song is Europa. Europa, Europa. That's by Gato Barbieri. Really nice jazz saxophonist. But anyway, Europa is my favorite song. And again, this is Melanie, AG4YL, in Marietta, Georgia. What's your favorite song?
Okay, AG4YL, this is WB1ARU, Ann in Hanover, Mass. And for the purposes of this contest, my favorite song is Cherish by the Association, the old version. WB1ARU.
Oh, very good, Ann. I copy your Cherish by the Association. I believe, was that I think I heard you exchange on another net this song. That has a special significance for you, doesn't it?
Yes, much to my sister-in-law's dismay, she was the organist, we chose that for wedding music. Not exactly the best for a instrumental or for a single organ to play, but hey, I was 22 years old. What did I know?
Oh, very good, Ann, very good. Well, you know what? I mean, your wedding music, your music. But I can see where that might be awkward as an instrumental piece. Anyway, thank you for sharing that story with the net, and thank you for exchanging with me. I'll pass this back over to, and for those of you that are still with us and still listening, that's how that works, by the way. You just exchange and give your name. And by the way, for those of you that are new, and just a reminder for those like me that had to think about it, it's tomorrow, UTC time. It's that exchange was made at like 1:27, 1:28 UTC on Friday morning. So just a heads up for those. It is tomorrow, and we do follow UTC time when we log these contacts. But that's all there is. That's all there is to it. And I put the web link up there so you guys can check it out. Go to YLRL and certificates to work forward to. An annual certificate is how you find it. And there's what it's about. It's one of the only things that you can do on Echolink. Basically, that's not on RF, that you can actually get a little something to put up on your wall. It's pretty neat. So with that, I'll send this back over to Net Control. This is AG4YL.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Melanie and Ann. That's great. Glad you gals got to exchange one in there real quick. And with that, it is time to close out the net. We encourage you, if you like, to come back in about 1 hour and join Margaret and the gals on the West Coast area for the Minnow Net. If you like, you're more than welcome to come in and join them. And with that, do we have any YLs who have joined us who have not checked in and would like to do so? Please call now. Okay, very good. Not hearing anyone. So with that, we'd like to thank Lauren again, KC9ZHV, for live streaming and recording in this net, making it available all through our YouTube channel. We'd also like to thank ALARA for the use of this Echolink conference node, North Fulton Amateur Radio League for their do-drop-in chat room, and all who are linked and listening for your ongoing support of this net. This is Catherine, AC4YL, closing the YL net and returning the ALARA Conference back to normal use. 33 ladies, have a great week. We'll see you next Thursday.